Morning, everybody. Well, the old Norwalk machine that chewed up 5 superintendents in 6 or 7 years didn't get me. I trust that you all had a good summer. I did. It was very busy, but I did find time to take in a Bruno Mars concert. I was the only 62-year-old guy there. I'll never be the same. I still can't hear out of my right ear. But it comes in handy at times when you're getting peppered with questions. I couldn't hear you. But I want to thank you all for last year. It was a great year. We have such a good system, so many wonderful teachers and leaders and staff. It was really incredibly welcoming, and I've enjoyed being with you. I'm not going to repeat some of the positive steps that we've taken over the past year, really for what I call job one, which is where we have an obligation to make sure that all of our teachers and all of our schools have the proper curriculum, have the proper resources, have the proper technology, that your buildings are wired. Obviously, we have standards. That is sort of a baseline. That is our obligation to do so. And we've been able to work with our Board of Education to set a direction, a mission, a vision, goals. And I want to thank the board for that and for remaining steadfast as we move forward. We advanced a multi-year budget without a lot of drama. And I not only want to thank the Board of Ed, but the mayor and Common Council members who are here today, and our state senators. I want to thank you for your confidence in us. Obviously, a new K-5 literacy program, over 4,500 laptops, major improvements in communications. I also enjoyed getting out to our schools, space travel with the young people at Columbus. Going to these incredible performances at our high school just blew me away, and participating in a number of events. And I always love to come and read to students, so don't hesitate to stop inviting me. School safety is also something that's been of primary importance for us. And it goes beyond just making sure that our facilities are in the right kind of shape and we have intercom systems that work and locks that work. But really how we as adults respond to issues, and when we see something, we say something, and we convey that to our young people, because the safety of our children, your safety is all of paramount importance. This summer was very busy. We doubled the number of students in our summer school programs, K-3 students who really benefited from an additional week, so gave 5 weeks of summer school programming. We embarked on what we call a Norwalk Early College Academy. Mike Lyons mentioned pre-K through grade 14 system, which is ultimately what we want to do. And I've got to thank Dave Levinson from Norwalk Community College for taking the leadership to help advance that. Mike mentioned our effort to reach parents and provide them with practical ways in which they can support their young children, so we have more and more kids ready for kindergarten. If we are going to close the achievement gap, that's where it has to begin, from day one, when children are born, right up through their readiness for kindergarten. Construction being completed at Narromake and Rowayton. I want to thank the Carver Center for the wonderful work that you do supporting our children during the summer with the great after-school programs. We had Ray Allen of the Miami Heat, the #1 three-pointer in the NBA, donated $40,000 to outfit a computer lab over at Ponus. And Ray was here, and he made, yeah. A lot of foundations are coming back to us. Some have been with us, stepping up to the plate. I cannot thank enough our key partners, whether they be from Norwalk ACTS and the Norwalk Children's Foundation to GE, General Electric, Pepperidge Farms, I mentioned the Norwalk Children's Foundation, the B Foundation, Nellie Mae, and a special thanks to the Dalio Foundation, which has provided a huge influx of funds to help us add key staff at our elementary schools and for after-school programs for us. So it's a good year. Now we have to build the momentum. And I spent time thinking about how we do that, how we close the achievement gap, and what's going to distinguish us here in Norwalk. And it really is what I call this thing of job two. Job one is getting the infrastructure and the basics in place. Job two comes down to us as individuals. It comes down to our belief systems. It comes down to the kind of culture we create in our schools, in the district, in our classrooms. That is what makes a difference. It is those kinds of connections that we make with families, that we make with children, that's going to make a difference for us. We have a number of staff, many, many staff, who go way and above beyond the call of duty, who work tirelessly weeknights, weekends, to make sure that our young people are getting what they need and you're doing whatever it takes. Your profession, 24/7, is just relentless, and we sincerely appreciate that and know how important that is. I watched this year as I attended the graduations at Norwalk High and Brien McMahon, I watched the students as they were getting their diplomas give these incredible hugs to Scott Hurwitz. And then I watched the students at Norwalk High, they hugged their housemasters. I watched the tears. They were expressing their thanks to you for teeing them up for their next segment in their lives. And I want to thank you for that. It's this kind of commitment that is what's going to separate and distinguish Norwalk Public Schools. We need to ensure success for every single one of our children that come through our door. They come to us, some speaking English, some not, some who've had breakfast, some not, some who've had the benefit of different educational opportunities and different experiences, some not. But it's our responsibility to transform the district and our schools and our classrooms to work for them. You know, last year, I jokingly referred to the old Norwalk way. And I'll tell you, that's a tough monster to bring down. You know, changing bad habits, bad practices, and the old ways of doing business, it's not easy. And I also said I didn't want to disrespect anybody, but I got to tell you, it's time to take the gloves off. We can no longer tolerate the old way of doing business when we know that some of our students are getting shortchanged. We need to be relentless about doing what's right for each and every child and creating the kind of culture that works. Let's not tolerate anything that gets in our way. As a system, there are a number of policies that we need to re-examine and change this year, not next year. One example, we need to pursue changes such as granting our students course credits based on competency rather than seat time. We need more time for quality learning experiences, after school, Saturday, summer. All of our children need to be ready for kindergarten. That's essential, and that means quality pre-K. And what's most important to transforming our system is you. You matter. You are the key in this equation. You're in one of the toughest professions, but also one of the most rewarding professions, because you change lives. You have an impact on the lives of our children. They're in your hands, and it's up to us collectively to make it work for each and every child, no matter who they are, no matter what race, no matter what ethnicity, no matter what language they speak. It's our job to make sure that they do well. We can't give up on our young people. We can't say, he failed. We can't say, he's just not responsible. Rather, we need to say, what's not working? Let's try something new. That's why we're here. Let's not say, this kid can't learn, or this student isn't going to make it. Let's not accept that anymore. If you hear that from a colleague, tell them to find another profession. Tell them to go up on Route 7 and go to a plant that makes widgets. You turn the on button and little things go along the assembly line, and if it falls off, you hit the off button. but let's not hit the off button on our kids. Let's make sure that every single one of our children that come to you this year, that button is on. Let's do whatever it takes for our young people. Let's commit to encouraging, supporting, doing whatever it takes as if it's your own child who's in front of you. And here's my commitment to you. My commitment to you from the lyrics of Bruno Mars, I'll take a grenade for you. I'll put my hand on a blade for you. I'll jump in front of a train for you. I'll do whatever it takes for you. Have a great year, everybody.